You want to talk about a team with ownership of another. You talk about the Steelers over the Browns, but maybe that changes with Pittsburgh having nothing to play for. Hey, how are you, folks? Jason Horowitz, Clark Judge. Glad to be with you. The NFL preview is presented by Comcast, Week 17, Cleveland at Pittsburgh, and we'll get to the Browns in a sec here, Clark. But for Pittsburgh, nothing to play for in the fact that they have the 2 seed locked up already. They can't move anywhere. They're there. They have a bye. But they didn't play that great last week against Tennessee. So what are you thinking if you're Mike Tomlin heading into this game?
I'm thinking I'm going to win this ball game because they're against a team that doesn't travel well, 0-7 under Romeo Crennel against Pittsburgh, and a team that hasn't scored an offensive touchdown in 5 weeks. I mean, you're talking about Ken Dorsey here. I'm not worried. What I am worried about is the health of my ball club. So I don't want to risk injuries to key players. That's why I think Mike should sit down people. I think he will sit down people, and I'd start with a quarterback. Ben Roethlisberger taking a lot of hits this year, you know, 46 sacks. I mean, he's been banged up a lot. Willie Parker's another guy I'd sit down. There's no reason to play these guys. You're going to find a way to win somehow. I don't care if it's Byron Leftwich. I don't care who it is. You're going to find a way to win. So get your club healthy and get them ready for the most important part of the season, which is the postseason. Yeah,
and James Harrison got banged up in the Tennessee game. Got to get him healthy as well. Because you're talking about a guy that could be Defensive Player of the Year. The other part to this, Clark, here is for Pittsburgh is, as you mentioned, they're getting ready for the postseason. When you look at this club, are you worried about anything with them in the postseason?
Yeah, I am. I'm worried about the offensive line, and I'm worried about Ben Roethlisberger. And the two go together. I mean, the offensive line has trouble protecting Ben Roethlisberger, but it has over the recent years. I mean, 46 sacks this year, 47 last year, 46 the year before. I mean, there's a trend here, and he's taken a lot of hits, absorbed a lot of punishment back there. But the other thing is, he doesn't take care of the football. I mean, he's got 14 fumbles, leads the league in that. So I'm worried in both respects. I mean, he gets hit, he loses the ball. So they're not going to shore up those problems immediately, but they've got to be concerned about them. They've gotten to a point where, you know, they've done very well with that offensive line. And let's keep in mind, I mean, every team has a hole. Every team has some hole. This is the hole for Pittsburgh. If I'm concerned about him, yeah, that's my one concern.
5 sacks last week against Tennessee, playing without Hainsworth, without Van Den Bosch, and they turned it over 4 times. All right, for Cleveland here, Clark, is there anything to salvage in terms of coaching staff?
No.
It's done.
Yeah,
you
I mean,
think it's done.
I mean, I know Romeo's going to meet with Randy Lerner after the game on Monday, I suspect. But let's face it. I mean, he's going nowhere. I mean, he's out. The coaching staff's out. It's been a sad and disappointing finish to a terrible season. This was a team that thought it could win the division.
This is a team some people thought could make the Super Bowl.
Yeah, no, that's right. And you know, Romeo's going to have a tough time arguing his case. I mean, 0-7 against Pittsburgh, 2-6 against Cincinnati, and look where they are now. I mean, as I said, a playoff team they thought. And they're one of the doormats of the league. So, no, I think the coaching staff gets wiped out and they start anew. You
see where their ranks are in the league offensively and defensively, and really nothing good there. Clark, what needs to change on the field in terms of personnel for next year?
Well, you saw 29th against the run. I mean, you got to stop the run, especially in this division. Pittsburgh always runs the ball pretty well, and they haven't really this year, but they typically run very well. Baltimore runs very well. If you want to catch those guys, you got to stop the run. You know, get Braylon Edwards some stick-em or something. I mean, he's got to catch some balls. I mean, he's a completely different receiver this year. I'm not sure why. He's a terrific receiver last year. Everything's going through his hands now. But they need to do something like that. I mean, they've got some, you know, they've got the personnel. I'd like to get another running back too. Jamal Lewis, I think, is about at the end of his career. But I'd like to get another running back in there as well. But they seem to have the franchise quarterback. I like Brady Quinn. That's a good start, and work from there.
Now they got to get people to stop punching the franchise quarterback, which is the story that came out this week. Read that on CBSSports.com. Let's take a look at the AccuScore prediction here for this game, which doesn't matter in terms of playoffs or anything like that. 85% of the time, the computer likes Byron Leftwich to win this football game. You like Pittsburgh?
Yeah, I do. I don't care if it's Byron Leftwich or Cliff Stout or Mark Malone. I don't care who's playing quarterback. He's going to win because Cleveland.
Terry Bradshaw comes out of retirement.
Cleveland's awful, and Pittsburgh's not. Pittsburgh will find a way to win this game.
All right, folks. For more on this game or any other here in Week 17, be sure to stay with CBSSports.com. Watch this game on CBS. For Clark Judge, I'm Jason Horowitz. Take care, folks.